Hello, Halloweeners! Welcome back to October Top 5. I'm Walter Bernasiak.
And I'm Heather Roos.
Every week this month we'll feature Halloween-themed countdowns, and today we dive into our first worst list. Not every Goosebumps monster can be as cool as the dog who barks in the intro. Oh, I love that!
What's with the button?
Every time I press it, a clip of the Goosebumps dog barking plays. See?
This is gonna get really annoying, isn't it?
Goosebumps had its fair share of good and bad villains. Last week we looked at the best monsters the show had to offer, but just as I spoke of last year, not every episode of this series was good. In fact, a decent portion of these stories and characters don't hold up well now, or even back then. Keeping in line with our previous episode, I will not be counting the villains featured in last year's Top 5 Worst Goosebumps episodes. There are more terrible monsters to cover, and I intend on breaking those down right now. These are the top 5 worst...
Where's Ayana?
Oh, I'm sure she just took the week off. She's probably fine. These are the top 5...
So, you're trying to tell me that the same woman who was kidnapped by interdimensional clones of you a couple of months ago is nowhere to be found, and you have absolutely no questions whatsoever pertaining to her whereabouts?
Yep. These are the top 5 worst Goosebumps monsters. Number 5. The Swamp Monster in How to Kill a Monster. How do you kill a swamp monster? Apparently there are many ways. By the way, spoiler warning for all these episodes. Gretchen's father just married the mother of Craig.
It's Clark.
Yeah, whatever. They're visiting Gretchen's grandparents while the newlywed couple is on their honeymoon. Unfortunately for the kids, these elderly folks live in the middle of a swamp and seem to be hiding something from them. Strange noises continuously come from the storage room upstairs, and eventually, Gretchen and Clark find out the swamp isn't just home to snails and frogs. The newly minted step-siblings in this episode are your garden variety 90s stereotypes. Needless to say, they don't get along very well.
You are toast!
Toast! Toast!
What are you doing?
Oh. It's this thing I do. It's before your time. This monster had the potential to be really cool. I like the design and the weird elephant roar it makes. Plus, it almost looks like a putropod from Power Rangers Turbo. My main issue with this monster is how it's totally wasted in the episode. It's set up pretty well, but this thing dies more than Krillin in Dragon Ball Z. It finally bites the dust for good after Clark accidentally shoves his hand in its mouth. Apparently it's allergic to humans and dies almost immediately. The monster then explodes, covering the kids in slime, leaving no doubt that it's finally gone for good. What a weak waste of a great design.
Number 4. The Werewolves in Werewolf Skin. This concept is really what led these monsters onto our worst list. Alex Blackwell is staying with his aunt and uncle for a while. They live in Wolf Creek, which has a rather odd reputation for the supernatural, namely werewolves. Alex doesn't waste time in breaking the rules set by his interim guardians, as he investigates an old creepy house nearby and goes into the woods alone at night. The young photographer is looking to win a horror-themed picture contest by capturing a compelling, creepy image. However, when those werewolf stories start to look like more fact than fiction, Alex has a hard time finding people he can trust, including his Uncle Colin and Aunt Marta.
Martha! Martha!
No, Marta, I said Marta! So the concept here is that werewolves shed their skin during the day and put it back on at night. I guess they're drawn back to the skin nightly and are compelled, like zombies are to brains, to keep putting the living skin back on. Unlike the werewolf of Fever Swamp, Werewolf Skin mishandles this legendary monster type. I give credit to R.L. Stine for trying a new idea with them, but it just comes off as so lame in the episode. Theoretically, it should be pretty easy to defeat them. Just keep the skin away from the humans who put it on. You don't even have to wait until morning before the skin explodes into flames, freeing the humans of their curse. This two-parter had a couple well-done trademark Goosebumps moments, but overall, it's just a cheap plot device. Was it handled better in the book? Comment below and leave your thoughts.
Number 3. Clarissa in Be Careful What You Wish For. I know what you're thinking, and no, she's not nearly as cool as the real Clarissa. Samantha Bird is a clumsy basketball player at her school who is constantly mocked by bully Judith. One day, Samantha helps out a woman named Clarissa who is trying to find her way home. To repay her kindness, Clarissa tells Samantha that she will grant her 3 wishes. Samantha is confused at first, but soon starts to realize that Clarissa is the real deal. Kind of. I know there are big differences from the book to the episode, so maybe that's why this character just doesn't work, but Clarissa is not an interesting personality for Samantha to bounce off of.
I shall grant you 3 wishes.
Her gimmick is that she's bad at her job, so whenever Samantha makes a wish, it doesn't turn out the way she meant it.
Well, wishes are complicated. Magic isn't an exact science, you know. I mean, I did the best that I could. Great.
I'm not sure what they were trying to go for with Clarissa. Bumbling witch with good intentions, or one of those you learn your lesson because you wished in the first place kind of characters. It's confusing and unfocused, which sort of ruins whatever moral they were trying to push. And of course, we have the worst looking statue effect I've ever seen at the end of the episode too. Just skip this one if you're rewatching the series. Number 2. Mr. Blankenship in Teacher's Pet. Ever want to see a Dave Grohl lookalike in a Goosebumps episode? Too bad, you got it. Becca and Benji join their class for a sleepover in a nature preserve, but one of their teachers, Mr. Blankenship, is acting weirder than usual. When strange crossbred animals start showing up in the woods, Becca and Benji investigate further and find a shack with many peculiar experiments ongoing. Their trip to the nature preserve was supposed to be about learning how the food chain works, but they end up discovering they're on the wrong end of it. Just listen to this guy talk.
Imagine an ordinary turtle with the speed of a cheetah, the ultimate predator. Sorry I snapped.
I mean, at least crossbreed animals that could actually be interesting together. I don't think anyone ever asked for a cheetah turtle or a lizard rabbit. And of course, he turns out to be a snake man. Hey, wait a minute. No, he's dead! Donald Rob is dead! I killed him!
Walter!
It was me! He's
Walter,
gone! There's no more! Donald Rob is dead! He's dead, I swear he's dead! Thank you.
And the number 1 worst Goosebumps monster is the Gruul, and it came from beneath the sink. It's a sponge. Sponges aren't scary. You can't make sponges scary. I'm sorry. They can be funny, hilarious even, but scary sponges?
Can't do it. Not today.
Kat Merton finds an evil sponge in her new house that's causing all sorts of havoc. Later, her family finds out it's actually a Gruul, a mythical creature that gains strength from the bad luck of anyone around it. Seemingly indestructible, the Merton children have a more than difficult time disposing of this belligerent being. I'm not sure what's worse, the sponge itself or the music they use to defeat it.
Makes you want to puke. Yeah, but why does it make you want to puke? Because it's so happy.
This one speaks for itself. While Goosebumps is known for its goofy villains, the Gruul wipes the floor with its competition.
This is better than the X-Files.
No, it's not.
This week on my personal channel, I look back at 2015's Goosebumps theatrical movie. Did it do the show and books justice? Based off of it, what can we expect from this week's release of Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween? Reviews of both those films will be up on the Awesome Walter YouTube channel, so check it out for more Goosebumps content as October rolls along. We want to hear what you guys think. What is your least favorite Goosebumps monster?
What do you want to see us cover next on the show? Leave a comment and let us know.
To keep in touch, you could like my Facebook page or follow along on Twitter.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch, where I stream on Wednesday nights.
We'll catch you right back here next week with something a little more mysterious on a brand new episode of October Top 5. The truth is out there.
Yeah, and I intend to find it. If you won't help me look for Ayana, I'll do it myself. Give me that!